Welcome back to a Sunday night special. What is going on? It's the car vlogs. Someone actually messaged me and said, Tom, this is my favourite segment on this channel right now. The Sunday night car vlogs. And thank you very much. It's a coping mechanism, I'm going to be dead honest with you. Sunday nights are awful. I really struggle because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Helen and I are in work. And those nights, we stay separated. Thursday is the first night in the week we actually get to stay together. So we've got 4 nights straight away where it's just pretty difficult. And then we get through all of that. And then it's Thursday night, we see each other. I actually stay over with Helen and then take her to work the next morning. Now we're on Friday, we finish Friday off. I pick her up Friday and we kickstart our weekend. So we have Friday night, all day Saturday if we're lucky, and a big chunk of Sunday. All day Sunday, again, if we're lucky. Sometimes she has other commitments, and that's tricky to get around, but 'tis life. We move. We have worked our relationship solidly as a 3-day relationship, which is tricky to try and do that, but when you've got a good partner, that's what you make. You make the sacrifices and you make sure it works out. And we are happy now because, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a great announcement to say that this week we've just started, obviously, happy 1st of February, 20 days until Helen's birthday, 13 days until Valentine's Day. I'm very excited. But we are super excited to kickstart February with some amazing house news. Now, obviously, on the segments, on the Sunday night vlogs, we talk about the house. We keep you up to date about Project House. And it is a good one this week, ladies and gents, because we finally got a sign of life from our solicitor team. We finally got them to message us back a contract. So we've had a lot of paperwork that Helen and I have gone through, and we have signed this evening, this very Sunday, the 1st of February 2026. We have signed on the dotted line all of our contracts that we needed to sign, and then we are basically going to be getting ready to scan them in and send them over to the solicitors and let the solicitors have a little read through it. Then it goes to the seller's legal team, and once they're happy with it, we could be working towards our completion date. And I don't want to spoil when that is, but if it happens when it's meant to happen, I'd be very excited, because that means completion date is done, contract has been finalised and approved, and we technically would be owners of a property as of that date, as of the completion day. And if it happens on this specific completion day, I'll be very excited. I'm not getting too excited now because we have no confirmation whether that's going to happen, but we hope that it is. And that's all we have right now. We have hope. We have hope and prayers. So that is what we are excited for. And I'm super excited because me and Helen have been working like crazy, saving up from uni. We haven't been away on a holiday since 2023. That's insane. My mum and dad are away right now. They're away every other month. So it's mad to think about how many holidays that they've gone on and people are going on. Me and Helen haven't been away since 2023, my friends. We've not been away for a long time. So I'm very excited to know that all of this is paying off. Selling a bunch of Lego, selling a bunch of DVDs, working hard at multiple jobs. Helen's got hers, I've got my full-time one, as well as these channels. We're running 3 channels simultaneously with a full-time job. It's crazy. I don't know how I do it, but it's a lot of love and a lot of passion and a lot of hard work, and it's getting closer to the goal that we're trying to get to, which is obviously Helen House. That's what we want. We want to have Project Helen. We want to have the house project. We want to be able to go into a blank slate, show you guys what it looks like the day we step foot in it. Then we're going to security it. We're going to put all the good security measures in place. We're going to get it a new coat of paint. We're going to do some cosmetic work to it. We're going to start sorting out parts of the loft. We're going to start sorting out storage options. And then we're going to slowly take you through the process of decorating, designing, renovating, doing it all up. And finally put into skills all of this stuff that we saw in these house programs for the last sort of 5-6 years of watching them and thinking of ideas for our own property. And finally, we'll get to a stage in life where you're going to see and hear a very different version of Tom and Helen, where we are not going to work and missing each other too much and being forced apart in the evenings, and our weeks are being stretched to the weekends, and we're finally going to get to upgrade to being a full-time couple again, like we were at university, like we were through the COVID pandemic. We're going to finally get to be a real couple, a proper couple, not a weekend couple or a holiday couple, but a real couple. And that's what I'm working for. That's what I can't wait for. Because I'm with a person right now who I genuinely can't be more proud of. And she entices me in so many ways, and she encourages me in so many ways and motivates me. And I hope to do the same for her as well. And together, the pair of us have conquered a lot. We've overcome a lot. And there's so much out there that we're missing out on because we're not living together. We're not getting to have those evening meals, and we're not getting to have breakfasts and stuff, and just the really simple stuff like doing the washing together, being in the kitchen while we're cooking each other food, and like organising our week together. We don't have time to do any of that because I live at a different postcode. You see me driving on the night roads all the time, every Sunday. I have to take her back, I have to drop her off, I have to drive myself home in the dark on my own, and it's miserable. And if I didn't do these videos, I'd have gone insane by now. It's crazy. It's not normal. It's not the perfect situation. But we make it work, and I think that's only possible because Helen and I have dedicated ourselves to each other and to our efforts and to our mission, which is to get this house and to get a bit of normality back in our lives. Because since we left uni in 2022, we have not had the opportunities to have a proper, steady, ongoing, permanent relationship like we did back at uni. All the stuff that we were doing at uni that became our day-to-day and part of our normal life, I know we never took it for granted because I still pinched myself thinking like this girl who I met at high school, who we fell in love with, and now I'm here and I'm in a house with her and it's a pandemic and the world's going crazy, but we feel fine because we're together, we're looking after each other. And that's what I mean. Like, it's just, I bet you right now, there are people out there who are in their 40s and their 50s and their 60s who are married, and I guarantee you they take for granted their partner sleeping in the same bed as them. I guarantee you that they take for granted every evening meal they get to share together. Every lunch they share, every breakfast they share, all the time that they get to spend with each other after work. When you come home from work and you get to vent to your partner about your day, don't take that for granted. When you get to be there to help your partner do something in the house, don't take that for granted. When you're there together, don't take each other for granted, because there are couples out there like me and Helen, and long distance relationship couples, and again I say this in every conversation, I don't know how they do it. I could never do it. It would be so hard. I have no idea how they do it. It's crazy. But there are couples out there who are so unfortunate that they're not able to have those really dismissive, I think people probably do dismiss them, really dismissive and slight and small things that people just overlook, take for granted. They don't soak it up, they don't enjoy it. I'll flip it round to this. My mum and dad have been married 20 some odd years, 25 years, right? My mum and dad got married when my mum was pregnant with me, so yeah, 25 years they've been married. And my mum and dad are both retired, they both don't work jobs, they don't have to work 9 to 5. They work when they worked for themselves. They didn't have a job, they didn't have a manager, they didn't have that. They just did it themselves, self-employed, and done it the whole life self-employed. And that means every tea time, every evening meal, every breakfast, every lunch, they've been able to have that together if they wanted to. I bet you they take that for granted. I know they take it for granted. My dad sits on the sofa and he could sit there and he could have a show on the telly that him and my mum are watching together in the middle of the week, and they could binge watch it Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. They could binge watch a series together. I bet they take that for granted. It's crazy. You know, that's such a slight thing that I bet so many people don't even think deeply about. That watching the show with your partner. Oh, it's just so normal. It's Wednesday night, we just stick the telly on. We just see whatever's on the telly. That's so normal for some people. That's not normal for me and Helen, that's a privilege. So when I have Helen round at my house and we can stick a show on that we're watching, it's such a privilege, because when we watch a show, we watch one episode of a show and then we've got to wait a week to watch another episode together. We don't get to binge watch them back to back. Just such a simple premise, such a simple thing we completely miss out on, because we don't get to have that dynamic every night. When I'm at home and I'm driving I'm at my mum and dad's home and I'm driving myself mad, you know, being by myself, I don't just get to turn to Helen and say to Helen, oh, I had this problem today at work. She's not there. I can ring her, sure, I can text her, yeah, but she's not there in person. She's not there in the room. And that's crazy. To know that she's out there, to know that she's like in a different postcode, in a different house, in a different part of the same sort of area as me, knowing that she's out there somewhere, just sat there, and not being able to share the space with her, that's crazy. That drives me nuts. And she understands that. And she gets that completely. And it's a very hard dynamic that we have had to struggle with for such a long period of time. And buying this house, you know, one thing, it is impressive to be two 25-year-olds in the real world of 2026, and you're 25 years of age, and you're buying a house with your partner. That's crazy. In and of itself, that's crazy. That is a massive achievement. That is a really hard thing to do, and we've done it. We're nearly there. We're so close. But to me, I can understand that that's impressive, and I respect that that's impressive, and I'm proud of us. Don't get me wrong, I'm so proud of us. But also, I'm not doing it because I want to be proud. I'm not doing it because I want to show off to people. I'm not doing it because I want to say to people, well, I'm 25, and because me and my partner got our heads together and we cracked it out and we had an idea and we had this plan and we organised ourselves right so we could budget and we could be in this situation together at 25. I don't want to do it for that reason. I want to do it because I'm sick and tired of going home every single Sunday night to different houses. I'm fed up that when I get in from work and she's had a bad day or I've had a bad day, we see each other for a little bit and then we have to separate again. I hate the separation. I have separation anxiety. I do. I lived in a big house. I grew up in a big house. My dad worked incredibly hard. He raised me in a big house. I lived off a street. I didn't have a street I lived on. I didn't have neighbours. I didn't have kids in the street I played with. I had to go all the way. My mum used to drive me to parks and streets and neighbourhoods where my friends from school lived so I could socialise with those people. I didn't grow up around lots of people. I had a big space to myself. Some kids dream of that. Some kids this day and age would love that. This big empty castle of a house that they can sit in by themselves and isolate themselves in. I hated that. I would have loved to fill that house with so many people. Now that I've grown up there and I've lived there and it was my home and I loved it whilst I was there, I could never see myself staying there forever because it was so big and lonely and empty. I wanted people, I wanted parties, I wanted friends around, I wanted to do more stuff. And now I'm an older person with all that hindsight. I regret not having mass amounts of people around every weekend. And imagine the childhood stuff you could go through by having these swarms of parties and crowds of people and all of these people you knew from school and all these friends you had and all these different people you met. You could bring them all around to this big empty house and you could do these parties and these weekends and these amazing, nights over and stuff like that. But I didn't do any of that. I did little bits of it. I did not do it enough. So I grew up a lot of the time in my room or in the house, watching films, playing Xbox, being by myself. And my Xbox was my only option of making friends with people and talking to people, and that's why I've got a lot of friends in the States. I've got a lot of friends, based in Canada and things like that, because it was my outlet. It was the way I made friends and socialised. I used to get on with my friends from school. So we used to go home to separate houses straight after school, and we'd all jump on the headset, and we'd all talk to each other. And that was the way we did things. And it was lovely. And it was great fun. But very lonely. And now that I've got a partner, and I met Helen, and I got to get a grip of what she was like, I realised so quickly, this is a person who loves spending quality time with me. This is a person who likes my company, and I love her company. And it's great. I got to show her films that she'd never seen before. I got to show her new TV shows, which she's now well interested in. I've had a chance to have her come and show me things that I've not seen before. And it's this nice dynamic that we built over 8 years. And it sounds ridiculous to say it, but this year we're going into 9 years together. And we've got people who we went to school with, who weren't even dating at the time, who are now married. Some of them are married with kids. Some of them have got their own houses, and they're married, and they've got kids, and they're doing this. And you know what? That's great. That's great for them. I love them. I hope them nothing but the best. But for me and Helen, for being together for 8 years, we feel so behind. My cousin Holly, she's gone off to Australia. And my cousin Scott, he went off to Australia too with his girlfriend. And they've been out there now for nearly, what feels like 5 years they've been out there. They've been out there for ages. But that's what I mean. We feel like we're so behind in things. And that's when we then bully ourselves and we get a bit angry at ourselves. But then we've got to realise, no, we aren't behind. We're just where we need to be right now. And there's so much more literally just over that horizon for us to start chasing. And that's why I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this next step up in life, because we have got the ability to work together to get ourselves to a new position, a new location. I'm sick of driving up this road. I'm sick of driving back down it. I'm sick of the same bloody streets and signs and shops and restaurants and bars and places. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the same places day after day after day after day after day. It drives me mad. I like new things. I like to see new things. I like a change of scenery every now and then. And this new place we're moving to is that. You want the countryside, it's there. You want a city, it's right there. You want nothing, you want peace and quiet, you've got it. You want freedom, you want space, you've got it. Everything's there. The driving over there is fantastic. The locations that we've been to have been amazing. And there are still millions of new ones to see. And at the moment, we're just basically coping. We're coping and we're making the most of what we've got. And we're doing that famous saying. And that's all we're doing. And that's all we can do. It's just take it one day at a time. This weekend's been phenomenal. My nephew Rory and my brother-in-law Paul came all the way up from London to Manchester because Fulham were playing Man United. So me and Helen got to greet them. We got to pick them up at the train station. I made us all tea. We watched a Batman film with Rory. Played some Xbox with him. Paul watched the football on the telly. And then they went to the football match today, and they've had a great day, and they're nearly home now. And that's what I mean. It's nice to do that. It was nice to... We are coping. We are taking it a day at a time. And it's great. And when we have our friends, we have Neve, we have Danny, we have Lillian, we have Charlotte from uni, we have Todd, who's my best friend from childhood, we have Zara and Philippa, who are Helen's friends from childhood. When we get to have days with them, it's lovely, because again, that breaks it up a little bit, that helps us cope, that helps us get through the day with a smile, and that's what I mean. At this moment in time, unfortunately, we are taking it a day at a time, because we are so close to getting to where we need to be, and I'm very excited of what comes next. And that concludes our Sunday night car talk. And for reference, yes, I literally do press record the second I leave Helen at the door, make sure she's in safe and she's happy and she's in her house. I hit record. So it's taken me 19 minutes to drive home from Helen's house to my mum and dad's house. 19 minutes. Mad. Quiet Sunday night traffic. Get all my thoughts out. Talk to you guys. Make me feel better. And then we move. Monday, 2nd of Feb, tomorrow. I'll see you guys in a week's time on the next Sunday car vlog. Peace. Thanks for watching.